Hi, my name is Gabriel Montoya, and I'm sitting here inside the SNAC Altitude Dome in San Carlos, California's Undisputed Boxing Gym. The dome here is designed to simulate high altitude. We're probably sitting at about 11 or 12,000 feet. And I'm here today to talk with Brian Schwartz, the owner and operator of Undisputed, and the trainer of Willie Nelson, who scored a big upset victory over Tony Harrison, who was undefeated at the time. Brian, let me ask you this. How many fights as a fighter and a trainer have you done? Have you been a part of?
As a fighter and a trainer, I mean, 50 maybe. You know?
And how many different venues do you think?
That's a great question. A whole bunch, all over.
But more than 10?
Yeah, and I fought all over the world. You know, so I mean, all over the United States and internationally.
First PBC card?
First PBC card.
All right. So how different is it than everybody else? I mean, they're kind of trying to monopolize or turn it into a league and kind of, I guess, brand boxing.
Yeah, and you know what? I thought they did a really nice job with their production and the way it was all set up. It was really nice. You know, we warmed up in our dressing room, but then they brought us into like they were calling it the red room because we were in the red corner. But it was just a place where we could warm up. They had a commentator from ESPN there to interview and the video, and I mean, I thought the whole setup of everything was really nice.
But as I understand it, there was kind of a, well, I noticed on the telecast actually watching that Willie doesn't get a walk-in. They did a feature on Tony Harrison. They did an interview with him in the locker room right after Willie's, but he didn't get a walk-in. Talk about that.
Well, so the production was very nice, but the quality of interviews and attention were very different. I mean, it felt like we were definitely brought in as the B-side, as the opponent for Tony Harrison. And it was evident once we got there. You know, all the press, all the media, interviews, everything was going towards Tony Harrison. You know, even as much as when it was time to walk to the ring, they wanted us to come out the back and just come to the ring, and then they were going to announce Tony Harrison to come down the catwalk and they could do the big thing on him. But ESPN stepped in and said, no, they gotta at least come, both guys had to come down the catwalk, but they didn't show Willie, they didn't show his pre-fight interviews or anything.
That's
like
interesting.
That.
ESPN was like, no, he's got to come down, but then they didn't show it.
But then they didn't show it, so.
Interesting. Well, so talk about, you know, how this fight got made. Willie was scheduled to fight, and then the fight got postponed. So how, like 7 weeks you got extra. How many weeks total did you guys get to work?
We worked together for 3 months for the fight. So we had a 3-month camp. It was a long camp. And it, you know, it worked out to our favor. You know, Willie had a couple of little injuries that he was nursing leading up to the first date that we had set. It gave us a chance to take a week off in the middle of camp, let that stuff heal, and then really, you know, hit the gas pedal for the second part of the camp.
You guys do a lot of things different here in terms of, you know, the hypoxic boxing training. We're sitting in a high altitude dome simulator, you know, probably doing an interview at like 12,000 feet or something. So what is the learning curve? You know, is it, for every fighter, I imagine it's different. How was it for Willie to kind of figure out the Remy Korchenny stuff and how to do this?
You know, Willie's a great athlete, so he was able to adjust pretty well. He was used to training hard, and you know, there was definitely some things that, you know, like where you'd be feeling good and you're like, all right, let's do more, and all of a sudden catch up with them and you'd be like, you got it. So, you know, there was a little bit of a learning curve, but I mean, he's such a hard worker and such a great athlete. I mean, he was just willing to kind of push through and just try to keep going. I think he knew that everything that we were doing was going to help him go to the next level, and we saw him, you know, last weekend.
What was his sparring like for this fight? Because you know, I mean, you're up in the Bay Area. It's kind of a weird dichotomy. Like you've got this, one of the most high-tech, if not the most high-tech gym. What you guys are doing with hypoxic training, and just everything that you've got attached to this gym. But sparring in terms of top level, it's not the wild card where everybody kind of gloms down there. What was that like getting guys from?
You know, we actually had really great sparring. We did some sparring with Paul Mendez.
Nice.
We sparred with Rudy from San Jose. We had a lot of good professionals coming in and out, and we were constantly changing the guys, right? So we had some looks that were going to be similar to Tony Harrison, like Richard Hargrove from the city came down and sparred. But then what was happening was, you know, Willie's so big and so strong, you know, he's hurting guys. You know, he's hurting guys that were his weight. So we had to bring in some bigger bigger sparring like Tony Johnson, who's a cruiserweight PKB champ. We also used one of my other fighters, Fabian Melendez, who's 210 pounds with big. You know, but
because Willie's a matchup problem.
Yeah, because that way if you hit him, they could at least take the punches. You know, like where these other guys, he's hitting them and it was like, forget it. Like, you know, it was hard to get him to come back. But we gave him a bunch of different looks because we thought we knew what the style was going to be of Tony Harrison. We were preparing for that, but we wanted to prepare for everything. You know, like you never know, like if guys change or adjust their styles based on the type of fighter that they're getting. So we were kind of prepared for everything and it worked out. Yeah,
you talked about, that was kind of the theme of what we talked about before, was making him a complete fighter. How much do you think, I mean, it's your first fight. I've always been told and always observed that it takes about 3 for everything to kind of gel. But you guys, it seems like a nice match. Talk about the...
Yeah, you know, I thought he did some things that were really good and things that were a lot better than he had in other fights. Like for one, he wasn't getting hit nearly as much as and that was the very first thing on the list, a check on that, right? It's like, you know, he's not getting hit, he wasn't hurt at any time, like he came out, he wasn't banged up, and to me that was a huge victory because, you know, Willie in the past has gotten hit, and he's gotten buzzed, and he's been hurt, you know, so let's take that off the table, right? So now he's not getting hurt. Right?
Cut the aggression you have, staying in exchanges.
Exactly, now he was doing, I thought, a pretty good job maintaining his distance. I thought that he could have been busier, and that was something that normally he really does. But I think there was a lot of factors going into this fight. One, it was a new camp, you know, new camp, so there was a lot of things that we were throwing at him. 2, he hadn't fought in 10 months.
No, that's true.
There was a little bit of ring rust, I thought. And then 3, there was a lot of pressure for him on this fight. You know, he lost his last fight. He's coming in, he's fighting Al Heyman's guy on the PBC show. It was, you know, it was completely their show. I mean, it was August based on how they treated us out there.
Right.
You know, so there was some pressure with that. He knew that he was in a position where he had to win. So I think all those factors kind of add into how his ultimate performance. But I felt like, considering all that stuff, you know, that I thought he did a really good job.
Yeah. Talk about in the fight. Did he go off plan, or did he know what he was doing in terms of he was going to knock this guy out? Was that his plan? Because it seemed like his offense was at a premium, but he seemed to be, by the 5th, 6th round, the guy coming forward. I felt like Harrison was landing kind of like get away from me punches and backing off, and that Willie was just shrinking the ring down. Talk about what was going on in the rounds in between, because they didn't cut to you guys in the corner.
Yeah, you know what was interesting about that, the whole week, you know, Willie had this aura of confidence. It wasn't like the other guy was, where he was talking and saying like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. He just had this aura of confidence. He was relaxed. He seemed like he just felt like everything was gonna go the way he wanted. So in the fight, you know, even though that, you know, I was telling him, hey, we don't need to, you know, pick up the ball in your punches, you know, let your hands go. You know, he felt like it was just a matter of time. Like the punches that he threw that ended up knocking him out were punches that we practiced. You know, like we saw that over him right there.
Yeah.
With someone we practiced over and over and over again. We knew he was open for that. And Willie, I think Willie just felt like, I got this. And, you know, it's going to come. I'm just not sure when, and when it's there, I'm going to check it. And sure enough, in that 9th round, when he hit him, it was over. I was surprised the referee even let it go that long. I mean, he was hurt really bad.
He was also fresh. He landed, he threw about 5 punches or so, and 3 of them landed really well, and he placed them really well. Do you think that's what we're sitting in now? That
he was in great shape. I mean, it was almost like he was too relaxed. Like it was like he was in such good shape he wasn't even breathing. I was like, I even said to him, I'm like, are you tired or no? He's like, no, I'm not tired. I'm like, well, come on, but you know, because that's what I was thinking.
You can expend a little more.
You know, you can work a little bit harder. And he just knew it. And I think sometimes guys just know. Like, they just know I got this, and, you know, it's going to happen. I'm just going to wait for the right time, and when it does, throw him, they do it.
Yeah. So what's next for him? Do you know?
You know, they're talking about some different things right now, but, you know, he jumped in the rankings to number 6 in the 154-pound division, which is exciting. So, I mean, I think, you know, he's hot right now, so I think he's got a lot of choices.
Well, there you have it. I'm Gabriel Montoya, signing off from inside the SNAC Dome.